All right, let's talk about how to absolutely crush the ACT science test. Seriously, if you're thinking this section is all about memorizing a bunch of formulas and facts, well, you're looking at it all wrong. By the time we're done here, you're going to have a powerful, step-by-step method to turn what feels like the hardest part of the test into a huge win for your score.
So let's just get this out of the way right now, okay? Does the idea of the science test kind of give you flashbacks to high school chemistry class, trying to memorize the periodic table or something? Yeah, you are not alone. But what if I told you that's got almost nothing to do with what this test is actually about?
And here it is. This is the single most important secret you need to know. The ACT science test isn't about what you already have stored in your brain. It's about how you think on the spot. It's really just a reading test with some charts and graphs. It tests your ability to look at data, understand an experiment, and weigh different arguments. And those are skills you can 100% get good at with the right strategy.
To build that winning strategy, we have to start with the basics. You got to know your enemy, right? So let's kick off our little study guide here by breaking down exactly what you're walking into on test day.
This right here gives you the lay of the land. And believe me, these numbers tell the whole story. They're the reason why just trying your best isn't enough. You need a system.
So, first up, you've only got 35 minutes. That's it, for the whole section.
And in those 35 minutes, you have to nail 40 questions. You do the math. That is way less than 1 minute for each question. The clock is not your friend here. And all of that is spread across 6 different passages. This is where having a game plan becomes absolutely critical, because if you can attack each of those passages in the smartest way possible, you're going to beat that clock.
So, let's start building that game plan. Think of this as your field guide. This is the key vocabulary for this test. If you can just learn to spot these 3 types of passages instantly, you are going to be way, way ahead of the game.
And here they are. These are the only 3 passage types you'll ever see: data representation, research summaries, and conflicting viewpoints. And you can see right away, research summaries are the big one. They make up almost half the test. Your strategy is going to be a little different for each.
First up, data representation. You can just think of these as pure data puzzles. You're going to see a ton of visuals, graphs, charts, tables, and not much to read. Your job is basically to be a data detective. Just find the points of information the question is asking for in all those visuals.
Next, you've got research summaries. Now, these passages tell a story. They'll describe an experiment, or maybe 2. They'll walk you through the setup, what they did, and what happened. All you have to do here is understand the experiment. What did they change? What did they measure? And what were the results? And the last one is conflicting viewpoints. This is basically the debate passage. You'll get one science topic, but 2 or more scientists or students will have totally different ideas about it. Your job is just to figure out how their arguments are similar and how they're different.
Okay, so you know the timing, you know what the passages look like. Now for the secret weapon. This is the core of the whole method, a simple 4-step process that you can use on every single passage that comes your way.
And here it is, our 4-step method. It's simple, it's repeatable, and it works. First, you just identify the passage type. Second, you analyze it strategically, and we'll use a different trick for each type. Third, you break down the question to figure out what it's really asking. And fourth, you actually predict the answer before you even look at the choices. This helps you avoid all those tempting trap answers.
So all that theory is great, right? But let's see how this thing actually works when the pressure is on. This is where we go from just knowing the strategy to actually using it to save precious time and rack up points.
Let's play this out. Imagine you're in the test. You turn the page, and there's a new science passage staring you in the face. The clock is ticking down. What's the first thing you do? Well, you don't just start reading from the first word. No way. You use the method. Step 1 is to identify. You just take a quick 2-second glance at the page. What do you see? A bunch of charts and almost no words? Boom, data representation. Do you see headings like Experiment 1 and Experiment 2? That's a research summary. Scientist 1 versus Scientist 2? You've got yourself a conflicting viewpoints passage. Easy. And now for step 2, analyze strategically. This is where the hacks really come in. For a data representation passage like this one, the absolute best thing you can do is skip the intro paragraphs. I'm serious. Go straight to the first question and then hunt for the answer in the graphs and tables. That text at the top, it's usually just there to slow you down. So, if you remember one thing from all of this, let it be this. Doing well on the ACT science test has nothing to do with being a science whiz. It's about having a system.
It's about staying cool, figuring out what kind of puzzle you're looking at, and then using a consistent method to solve it. It's a skills test, and these are skills you can absolutely learn. So there you have it. You've got the blueprint now, the field guide to the passages, and the 4-step plan to attack them. This is everything you need to conquer the ACT science test. The only thing left is to practice it until it becomes second nature. So the real question isn't whether the plan works, it's how are you going to practice it so you can do it in your sleep on test day.